Hey there, gluten-free friends. Welcome to a fabulous conversation we have for you today. If we haven't met, my name is Jennifer Marcks, your gluten-free health coach, helping you create a sustainable and delicious gluten-free lifestyle. And today I'm bringing in my friend Jess Bingham, who is a mom, a financial coach, and she manages her own busy household and has a lot to share with us today. So welcome, Jess.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So I wanted to bring Jess in because what happens to us when we go gluten-free? We find out we need to be gluten-free, and first we're hit with deprivation, which is, oh no, we're never going to eat again, but we know that's not true. And then we're hit with the expense of gluten-free food. I know it hit me hard because I'm a huge baker, and when I went to buy gluten-free flour, I was blown away and really felt like, oh my gosh, I'm never going to bake again because, my wheat flour was $1 or whatever. And my gluten-free small bag of gluten-free flour was $4 or $5, right? I thought, okay, I have a family of 5. How am I going to do this, right? So it hit me too. And our family learned steps and strategies to get over that. And that's what I teach all of you to do. But Jess has some fabulous ideas to share with us today. So let's let her talk a little. Jess, tell us about who you are and what you do so we can see what you're going to bring to us today.
Yeah, absolutely. So first of all, I am a busy mom, so I totally get it. And the grocery bill tends to be one of the bigger bills of the household every month. I have 2 kids who are always on the go, and I like to describe myself as a number nerd. I just love numbers and spreadsheets and everything finance. So that leads to me being a financial coach. I love to work with families so that they can build a life that they love, which results in them spending more time making memories and less time worrying about money. So it's a little bit about me.
Yeah. Well, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. And I'm so glad we connected because this is such a topic that comes up with every client, every student that I work with. And it's like, I just can't afford this. I can't do this. And it's really a huge mindset shift too, because this is your health, right? And you have to put your health first. And that was a hard lesson for me to understand as well. But the more I learned that I'm not going to be rushing to the doctor all the time, and I'm not going to be rushing to the ER as much as I used to once I had my gluten-free life in order, those bills go down. So looking at it in a long term as well, right?
Yeah,
For
yes,
spending.
exactly. It's
Yeah.
usually an initial adjustment, but then once you learn to fit it in place and it has its own place in your life, it gets easier for sure.
So just give us some ideas. Like, so we hit that. Oh my gosh, this is so expensive. Although right now, while we're reporting this, we know that right now the grocery store prices are high for everybody,
Yes.
just gluten free. So this pertains to everybody, right? But what are some things that we can do to kind of get over this mindset, or some strategies we can start implementing to help us overcome this? I can't afford a gluten-free lifestyle.
Yeah, so absolutely. One thing is a lot of people don't always look at their finances in detail, so it may not even be as big of a change as people are expecting it to be. So just organizing your money and kind of taking note of what you're spending in a month on your shopping
Mhm.
bill.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
because that also helps to save on deals, maybe go to a different store that offers more variety at a little bit of a less price.
Mm-hmm.
But when we're focusing on how much is being spent in a month, you may find that it's really not quite as large. Um, Another thing that I think is a great tip for people to do is to go ahead and make a list of their expenses. And this is something that I do with my clients on a regular basis. And pick 2 highlighters. You can even pick your bank statement if you put everything on a debit card, for example,
Mm-hmm.
and highlight one color, everything that you need. So things like mortgage, car payment, utilities, and
Mm-hmm.
take the other color and highlight anything that's considered a want purchase.
Mm.
And just to focus on those wants and take stock of, do I really want to keep spending money on this, or would I like to allocate some of that money towards smoothing the process of this new grocery bill?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right. Oh, those are great tips. Yeah, we don't always stop and look at that, do we?
No. And a lot of times we'll add on subscriptions that we're not even using anymore. And being
Mm-hmm.
able to look at that kind of triggers like, oh no, why am I spending $15 a month on this? This can go towards that grocery bill.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. That, yeah. When you stop and think like how many things and subscriptions maybe that you've been doing for years that you don't know are still going on, like
Yes.
newspapers or magazines, like, do I really need to keep getting these or
Yeah. And if you're anything like me, my email inbox is always overloaded. So when they send the receipt, I never see it.
oh, well, right. And that could be a problem too, right?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you're probably not even aware that it's still charging.
Yeah, absolutely. So, okay, so if we sit down and look at our expenses and look at, okay, this is what we need and these are our wants, what do we do next?
Yeah. So when you have everything highlighted in that manner, it allows time to stop and reflect on the values and the life that we're trying to create. And I'm sure a lot of people who are making the shift to gluten free, it's a health decision.
Mm-hmm.
So when we value our health as one of those top values in our life, or having energy and feeling like just overall healthier, less spending on medical bills, things like you mentioned,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
that when we shift our money to honor our values, we overall feel a lot more content and happy with our lives.
Mm-hmm.
So being able to look at those expenses that are identified as needs and kind of questioning is this matching the values that I hold dear in my life? Is this promoting the life that I'm trying to live, even if you're currently not necessarily feeling you're in it now, but the
Mm-hmm.
the goal that you're trying to turn your life into,
Right.
and then assessing and seeing what can be shifted. And a lot of times people find that they do have the money for the things
Mm-hmm.
that are important to them. It's
Mm-hmm.
just a matter of taking stock of what they're currently spending on.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And really prioritizing that, correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And as you're speaking, it really does bring up like my doctor visits and how much I was spending at doctor's offices and for all
Yeah.
the protocols they wanted me to follow and all the testing they wanted to do that really didn't need to keep doing again. And every time I go to the doctor, they'd run the same test. I'm like, but that showed us before that, that's not the case. And they'd run it again. Well, that all adds up a lot. So if you're not getting your health in order, once I had gluten-free down, I don't go to the doctor like I used to. I haven't been to the emergency room or for a bit, and absolutely not like if I was in the past going to the
Yeah.
doctor all the time. I mean, all the time. Um, so that's a huge difference. And those bills, doctor bills add up very quickly, as we all know, right? So
Yeah.
getting your health in order is a huge priority. So really prioritizing that and eating well and looking at things and I teach shopping and savings in my programs and in my membership and teach you how to shop to find the foods you need, right? And we do a lot of savings. Growing up, I learned a lot from my dad on how he budgeted our family. And and that's all in our program. So taking those steps and implementing that can all help. But Jess is absolutely on target here of starting with where are we already spending and what do we need and what do we want? And Jess, what else would you like to add to that for our community?
Yeah, I think it's important to focus down the road because sometimes the initial switch can feel really of a cost burden. But like you
Mhm,
said, over time, there's these
mhm.
expenses that we don't even think about, or you're going to have more energy to do the things that you enjoy. So you'll probably find that you're saving money in the long run, especially as you learn what you can buy bulk and things like that.
Absolutely. I was just thinking that, just as you said that. Yep, we buy a lot of things in bulk now because you save money that way. Absolutely. Yeah, such great tips. So Jess, I know you have a freebie for our audience. Would you like to tell them about that?
Yeah, I have a value spending worksheet that can help you to organize all of your expenses and look at them a little bit deeply, with also some good question points will be in there as you're considering shifting your view and your budget towards your values.
Oh, I love that. That is great. So make sure you go grab that. That link will be right under this video. And Jess, can you share where they can find you?
Yeah, absolutely. You can find me on Facebook or Instagram, Compass Financial Coaching. I also have a website, www.compassfinancialcoaching.com, which you can reach out to me if you have any questions.
All right, awesome. Well, thank you for joining us today, Jess. Do you have any final words for anybody?
Absolutely. I am so happy to be here and share that with everyone. And I just hope everybody has a great day and is able to take something away from this.
Yeah, absolutely. Big takeaways. Let's prioritize. We often talk in our group about creating a gluten-free life with intention, like being intentional about what you do. And this is another really great way to make your gluten-free life intentional by really looking at your finances and seeing where you're spending the money. So we can take that thought of it's too expensive for me and throw it out the window, because that's really a mindset issue. So Jess, thank you so much for joining us today. Everybody have a delicious gluten-free day, and we will see you next time. All right, bye-bye. Thank you, Jess.